Hi and welcome to our slide guitar segment. In this issue, I'm going to go back to the beginning basically for you, and I'm going to take a look at, well, we're going to do a shuffle rhythm, but take a look at the three different scales that are commonly used in playing slide guitar. There are a whole range of scales, of course, but the three basic ones. Now, we've got the same shuffle, but first of all, I'm going to play it with a minor pentatonic, then a major pentatonic, and then we're going to take a look at the Mixolydian scale. And if you're on top of those three scales, you're pretty well equipped to make some good slide in a band situation. Before we get started, I'd like to say something about these three little examples. First of all, we do have the minor pentatonic. Now, what I've done is the first 12-bar chorus, I've just played the minor pentatonic scale that fits over firstly the E, then the A, then the B, and you'll see how it works against the chord. Then in the second chorus, I've composed a little solo, which I'll break down for you, I'll talk through. Okay, let's take a look at the minor pentatonic first of all. The riff that I've put together for this scale shape is like two little box patterns. Now, we're going 10 to 12 on the first string, 10 to 12 on the second string, and then we have 12th fret of the third string. And the way I've played it on the example is, then we go down to another box pattern at the 9th and 7th frets. At speed. Now, with just that little scale, there's plenty of good music to be made. So I play that pattern twice over the 4 bars. It's a 2-bar phrase. I then repeat it, or slide into it. I then move it to the A chord. So we want 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 2, 0, 2 on the 3 and 4 strings. Let me play that through again for you. And the phrase comes out as this. So we then move back up to the E. Now let's hear them in context. Now you can hear the chords being spelled out, the chord movement being spelled out by changing the minor pentatonic to the A minor pentatonic. So we've only got 1 bar on the B, so we've got a short little phrase that goes like this. I'll play it slowly. Now if you think of that same pattern up in the E, we've just done it on the B at the 7th and 5th frets. The B chord, of course, at the 7th fret. Then we repeat that phrase at the 5th and 3rd frets, spelling out the A7 chord. Then we come back up to our riff 3. Now I'll play the whole lot through and you'll hear all of the changes. Move to A. Back to E. The B. And you can hear all of the changes in there. The licks that make up the solo, first of all, lick 1. It's only short, 2 notes, but it sounds good. So it's 1 and 2, 3, 4. Number 2. Number 2 slowly. Now we've got that rise to the minor third, which I hadn't shown you in the scale shape, but if you get up there to that 15th fret, just gives you a little more scope. Lick number 2 again, with that big rise. Number 3, slowly. So we've got that nice quick pull down, which you'll need to practice. Something Dwayne Allman did a lot of. Okay, now lick 4. Now just around that A chord, slowly. Okay, lick 5. Now we'll do it slowly. Lick 6. Now this has also got the minor, that minor rise that I spoke about on that E lick before in lick 2. Now slowly for lick 6. Lick 7. Lick 7 slowly. Lick 8, the final one. And slowly. So you'll be able to identify all of those licks against the scale shapes. Okay, same thing, same shuffle feel and everything, same chords, E, A and B7, but the major pentatonic this time. Let's have a listen to the difference it makes. Slowly. So let's talk it through. Now the pattern is 9, 11, 9, 11 on the 4 and 3 strings. Now on the second string it's 9, 2, then up to 14. And those notes on the first string, 12, 14, 16, 14, 12. Now we do that twice, and then we've got the same pattern for the A chord. Then back to the E chord. And then the B. If you'll imagine that B chord, and we're spelling it. Same thing with the A chord. So it was 6 to 8 on the B, 7, 9 on the second string, 7, 9 on the first string. Now 4 to 6, 5 to 7 on the A chord. Then we're back to our E major pentatonic. Now the whole thing in context, so you'll hear the chord changes. E, B, A, for the E at the end again. Solo major pentatonic, lick 1. Lick 1 slowly. Lick 2 is the same with a different ending. Now slowly. So that part's the same. Now the new part. Now I'm sliding 11 to 13. And then I jump back to the 12th fret of the first string, which is kind of hard. You'll have to practice it. But as you go around, you try or practice it up, you'll get it. But we got to remember not to come to the 13th fret of the first string or it'll sound out of tune. So 11, 13, jump back to 12 of the first. Gives us a nice sound. In lick 3, we come to the A change. So slowly. Lick 4. Lick 4 slowly. Okay, lick 5 spells out the B7 and A7 changes with just a couple of notes. So the B7 part, the A. Now I'll do it slowly. We slide 7 to 9 twice, then 5 to 7, spelling the A7. And the final lick. So lick 6 slowly. Now here's another scale that's a big favourite with rock players, always has been, the Mixolydian shape, the Mixolydian scale. Now let's see how it works against this same shuffle rhythm 12-bar blues. Now the Mixolydian scale, if you'll imagine your E7 chord, if I take my slide off, your E7 chord there with your little finger fretting the first string, the dominant 7. You'll put the slide back on. We're just going to spell out that chord. Now the riff I've come up with, so I start 9th fret of the 3rd string, 7th fret of the 3rd string, then back to 9. Then we're going to go 7, 9, 10 on the 2nd string, and we do the same on the 1st, 7, 9, 10, but reach up to the tonic, to the E at the 12th fret, and that spells out your E dominant 7 chord. Then, with A, instead of going down to the open position, I thought we'd take a look at him up here at the 12th, well, beyond the 12th fret. And we land up at the 17th fret. Then we come back to the E7. Now to the B7. I want you to think of the B chord down there at the 2nd fret, which is where we land up. Same shape as that E7 chord. Now the A. We can employ an open note there. Now let's hear it in context, and even without the backing, you'll hear the chords being spelled out. Now the solo, here's lick 1. I'll do that slowly. It's kind of a long one. It's all 4 bars of that first E7 change. Lick 2, it's on the A7 change. Now let's have a look at him slowly. Now what we're doing is sitting on that dominant 7. It sounds really good. The G note against the A7 chord. Lick 3 on the E7 change. Lick 3 slowly. Lick 4, spelling out the B7 and A7 changes. Very simple. Let's go it again, slowly. Lick 5, the final lick. Slowly. Okay, so that's the story there. We've got the minor pentatonic, major pentatonic, and Mixolydian scales. Learn them, and you'll have plenty in your armoury then. Now, I've given you the shapes, then an example of a solo that you could possibly use over the 12-bar blues in each of those 3 scales. So have a look at the licks that make up the solo. Then you have the backing tracks. You can hear me doing all of these. Then you have the backing track for yourself to jam against and, maybe play what you've learnt there and then try and improvise and make up your own little runs and solos against it. Okay, we'll continue this slant on getting started with the slide guitar in our next issue. Till then, keep sliding.